I just spent the whole day filming a deep dive into IONQ, which is why I might look a little bit tired. But you will get no excuses from me, because we have week 47 to review. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Now let's have a look at the news that impacted our stocks last week. Now it was another down market, with my portfolio down about 2% and the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq down between 2 and 3%. There were some clear winners and some big losers, and overall the message is still the same. There's a lot of fear in the system, but in my opinion it's still unsubstantiated. Starting with general news. The chances of a rate cut on December 10th by the Federal Reserve are starting to improve. This is probably linked to the fact that Fed members were a bit more positive in the media about it and concerning unemployment data. Polymarket has it from 49% chance last week of a cut to 69% this morning. In energy-related news, the Wall Street Journal reports that xAI, Blue Origin, Google and NVDA are looking into AI data centers in space, where they will be taking advantage of solar energy, the natural cooling and the lack of regulation for construction. Furthermore, the Trump administration will give Constellation Energy, a nuclear company, a $1 billion federal loan to restart the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant. Power generated will be sold to Microsoft under a 20-year deal. Then on AI bubble talk, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, gave an interview to the BBC where he stated, "We see real demand and we are constrained to serve it," which is a really good sign. He also said that he expects AI to show overinvestment in some areas like the dot-com era, but that companies should just be careful not to overinvest, which sounds pretty obvious to me. And then Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, said, "There's been a lot of talk about an AI bubble. From our vantage point, we see something very different." So again, this whole thing seems to be very much overblown to me. Bitcoin also continued to suffer losses, even touching 84K on Friday. So moving on to company-specific news, AEVA announced on Wednesday that they will be expanding further into smart infrastructure through their exclusive partnership with D2 Traffic. So that's a company that helps other transportation agencies improve their safety and mobility by using their Atlas Orion product. Now this is really good to see AEVA expanding into other, they can use their LiDAR technology, so all of that is good. The stock was down about 2% for the week, again probably mainly due to the general market dynamic. American battery technology company was down further 6.4%, no specific news. AMPX was down 10.5%, no specific news. So ACHR made quite some noise this week. On Wednesday, they announced that they were selected by the helicopter company, which is a subsidiary of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, that they were selected to launch midnight in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That was on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, Joby, another eVTOL company, sued ACHR, saying that one of the employees that came from Joby and went to work for ACHR had confidential information that ACHR then used to win this deal. And on Friday, Adam Goldstein, the CEO of ACHR, slapped back, saying that it was nonsense, but that he gets why Joby is frustrated because ACHR has been winning constantly. And he's saying, I guess that desperation really clouds judgment. So it's fun to see some back and forth between these highly competitive companies. The stock, however, was down about 9% for the week. No other real specific news, so probably just going down with the general market. Then BFLY up 25% for the week. On Monday, they launched Compass AI, which is integrating AI into their existing operating system. So this was the improvement or the launch that they were teasing for the past couple of weeks. Then Howard Hughes down 1.5%, no company-specific news. Nautilus up 24.4%, also no specific news. They're on a really strong rally over the past couple of weeks. So a nice milestone for OKLO. They signed a binding contract with Siemens for the design and delivery of the power conversion system that they'll use in their first commercial Aurora powerhouse. So it's good to see those things advancing. It didn't help the stock much. It was down about 10% for the week. Then Palantir down 11%, no real news, just down with the regular market and AI fear. Recursion up 0.7%, God knows why. So no real news on Tesla, but there was some news on xAI. Now during the last shareholder meeting of Tesla, a vote was approved to start investigating if Tesla could take a stake in xAI. xAI is Elon Musk's AI company that also owns X, former Twitter. So on Wednesday, it came out that they were in advanced talk to raise 15 billion in new equity, giving them a valuation of 230 billion, according to the Wall Street Journal. And then on Thursday, it came out that X will work with NVIDIA and a Saudi Arabian partner to develop a giant data center in Saudi Arabia. The stock was down 3% for the week. No news on Samsara. The stock was down about 3%. Then moving on to Quantum Corner, NVIDIA posted their earnings with record sales and strong guidance, beating all expectations. So here's a chart showing NVIDIA's quarterly revenue. They have a bit of a different fiscal year, so the quarter that they just reported is Q3 2026 in their books. So you see the massive ramp in revenue there. And here's a picture showing basically their P&L for the quarter. I thought it was quite a nice visual. So you see the enormous part that the data centers take up in their total business, with a revenue of 51 billion out of the 57 billion. And here you see the breakdown towards gross profit margin, operating margin, and you see that they have a massive net profit margin of 56%. The stock was still down about 6% for the week, so that shows you how irrational this market is today. Then on Alphabet, it was up 8%. There was no real news surrounding their quantum AI efforts. Then on D-Wave, down 13%, no real news. IONQ down 11%. Like I said, I'm working on a deep dive that I'll probably post in the next few days, but this stock is starting to become attractive. And then Rigetti down 7.4%. So that brings us to the end of the video. It's another week in the red without much news, or just positive news, to be honest, which means to me that this is all very irrational and nonsensical. On the bright side, a lot of stocks are starting to look cheap. So if you have some cash on the side, this might be the moment to get greedy. I apologize if this video is a bit rushed or a couple days late, but this is because I need to do this next to my job. Now, if you want me to do this full time, please like, subscribe, recommend the channel to a friend, and I will see you in the next one. As always, this is just my opinion. Please supplement it with your own research before making an investment decision.